you often hear us talk about, or you see in the books, when we talk about small circles and big circles, that people don't really understand when they see it in print, is that if I'm grabbed and I make the tiniest movement, the shortest, sharpest circle, then we get straight out. But sometimes I don't want him to come off. I actually want him to stay on. If we're going to do that, I can't do a really tiny circle. It actually has to be a bit bigger to maintain the grab, to maintain the contact, because the small circle will have me out of there. Now that's okay if I'm doing something else, but if I need the grab, if I need the contact, then I need a bigger circle. And then maybe I get some other contact with the other arm while he's still got his grab. So both of them have a use. The small circle gets you out of trouble fast. When we're putting a technique in, the reverse is true. The bigger the circle, the safer our partner, our attacker. If we're not looking to cause them lots of damage, then a big circle keeps them safe, whereas a small circle gets the pain on a lot quicker. I know I'm doing lots of other factors wrong here. I'm not using my body weight the way I should. I'm actually leaving a few gaps. Things like that are creeping in just for my partner's protection here. But at the same time, you see the result of just that player. If you can isolate these factors of technique and explore them one by one, then you can know that when you lump them all together, as you will do through the rest of your training, then you end up with something that's much, much more dangerous. So in order to get clarity about what each thing does, look at it bit by bit. Understand, for instance, a couple of newsletters ago we talked about this teisho, and I had questions from people all over the web saying, I don't understand what happens about the length of their arm, what about the size of the attacker, what about all this other stuff? How is your chudan shot actually to a head? Looking at it, you can see it. If we're in here, whether this be a grabbing hand or a punching hand, whatever it is, as soon as I've got hold of it, once I'm pulling, then he comes down. The teisho becomes a shot in front of my body. The chudan level on me is the head level on him. The bigger they are, the more arm they've got, the further down they come. The bigger I am, the more I need to drop my body weight to cause this to come in, to get smaller. Okay? Doesn't need to be this side, it can be this side, same idea. We take it in this way. Right? Understand the bits. We put the bits together to make the whole picture. Something that happened there, you start to move downwards in stance. What you find is that downwards in stance will pull him down. If I pull backwards, we end up in something like a back stance. And if we push inwards, we end up in something like a front stance. We don't need to be trained to do that. You can watch anyone who's just starting do that. And then we have to train it so that every time we're doing those things without a partner, they have relevance. Because it's when the relevance is taken away that things begin to get very, very muddy. And the sporting applications can end up being used in so-called self-defense, and you end up with big problems. For instance, very, very recently, we were told all about someone who was dropping a knife on people's heads in a downward jabbing motion. They were told that they had to put their hands up like this to stop it. Well, first off, most people don't attack psycho manner. You know, it's going to be one of these or one of these. And second off, even if I do that, if the blade's any longer, I'm still going to get speared. You know, so first things first is, if there's something coming down at you, get out of the way. Right? Much better to be out here and then be doing something. But then you've got the whole problem about, what is this all for? Why would you do this? Now, all you've got to do is see the kind of situations that you really, would encounter. When a wrist grab's gone on here and I'm trying to move away, I obviously don't want to get hit by that hand, but this then causes him to stop using that hand properly. If I shove it straight up in the air, we end up with my partner's body weight hanging from his shoulder. It's not meant to take that kind of pressure. And certainly when it's done as a surprise manner, then we get the effect that we're looking for. So what happened there, showing you nice and slowly, is that the downward cross block was used to free up the wrist from its strength here, and then we captured it and brought it up this way, with my hand closest to my body being the pressure against his hand, and the hand furthest from my body rolling this way to set his arm, right, to lock it. Now, a lot of people, as soon as they do this, they automatically go this way, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what I showed you just now. It's just a different set of principles. From here, I have real trouble shooting this all the way up in the air. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I want to keep him in close and work on him here. But the joy of this one, where you go up in the air, is the ability to control the man and to maybe not break his arm. But maybe at this point you go, right, you ready? Lay off. Lay off. He's ready to lay off, so you can stop it. If he doesn't want to lay off, we'll make it worse. Catch you next time. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that, and if you'd like to email us at info@karateacademy.co.uk, let us know how you felt about that. Is the format better? Is it worse? What way would you like to see it improve, and what would you like us to include in future? And we'll be happy to oblige if we possibly can. Write to me or call in the UK 01626 360 999.